Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna review just one round of Chengdu versus Shanghai, but this should be an interesting round. Both teams are running ball, and Shanghai they're running the Ash. I always explain this, but Ash is a really good pick into these ball dive comps. Like the burst damage opens up opportunities for ball tracers to clean up very easily. Chengdu are running the Sombra, which is kind of a throw pick, just because like even though Sombra does enhance your ability to take engages and provides a bit of zoning. On the other hand, like Overwatch 1 Sombra is just much better at that. Overwatch 2 Sombra is better at like when you actually have a lead in a fight and you want to push it. Just get the hack and bam, they're dead. But like you need to get into those positions to get the hack. And like Overwatch 2 Sombra just can't enable that as much as Overwatch 1 Sombra did. Compared to just the consistent damage of an Ashe, which forces players out of the open. So, and ball dive mirrors is all about control. It's all about controlling the point, or like any important space that allows you to just walk onto point. And speaking of which, the important space on this point is here, this area of the map. You have a mega, which admittedly Jinmu could hack, so denied from Shanghai. But you also have like a lot of cover. You also have like a lot of sightlines to Harmony Discord. And if you control over here, you just have like so much control. They can't use this flank. They can't like walk onto here, and you can just walk onto point without like having to worry about the flanks. Because even if they go here, even if they just, put their backline over here, then like you're just gonna have nice long like wide open sight line to shoot at them. So that's why like typically in like professional play, both teams will just send everyone here. Like 5 players just contest. And even like if you want to set up a 4-1 like type of split, you send a tracer here, then here's the problem. Let's say you send 4 players here, 1 player here, while like the enemy sends 5 players here. They just overwhelm you because this flank takes quite long to actually set up. And then once they have their players here, you get pushed back, and now they can go on to just deny this flank and also shoot at your backline and also just walk on a point. So getting control of this area is so powerful that teams are just literally going to just run it down. And that's what they should be doing as well. Maybe they have someone take an angle like on the point, but like this is one of the rare instances where running it down actually works. So right here, both teams are going to hopefully run it down. Okay, I can't believe I just said that, but it's true on this point. That being said, I think Shanghai are making a mistake here. Where's Fleta? Why is Leave like here but not Fleta? I think Fleta is trying to take this longer flank. And how does Chengdu take advantage of that? They just like move their backline up. Monk and Nisha, they just move the fuck up. Like they should not be staying back. They need to push up. Like I don't care about lip. You have you can kind of try to have your Sombra harass slip a bit, maybe threaten the hack a bit, but like they need to push up their backline. Like if they don't, then like this is like the one opportunity that Chengdu have to just win this fight. Flat is out of position. Like this is a natural tracer flank, but on this map, Flat is out of position. So Chengdu, they have a simple solution: just push the fuck up, and they have a hacked mega as well. If they don't, then Flood is going to complete that flank and force out Chengdu from this space. And if you force off this space, you lose. You just lose. Okay. And like, what's with this beating around the bush? Like, Jinmu dies for some reason, but like, why is Gaga just like swinging around instead of shooting Fate? How is Fate remotely still full HP? Like, there's a hacked Mega. What like, I think Gaga's looking for like this one big engage, but like, this is not only the wrong conception of what dive actually is. Like this is all about space control. It's not about killing like the backline. Like you can kill the backline like to push an advantage that you have, but where's your advantage? You're just your backline's just kind of stuck here. And, your tracer is just fucking around over here instead of like having a quality flank to use. And now Shanghai, they have two options. They could either just push into this space and just like finish the fight. I actually think that's what they should do. They should just push onto here, have Fade and Flooded Pincer, kill like all of Chengdu. And Gaga, whatever. Or on the other hand, they could just try like rotate their backline over this way. And given that Fate full HP is over here, like Chengdu's backline can't just blindly push here. Like if Gaga was actually in position, this might be punishable because you can even in a 4v5 you could just have four players just forcibly take this position. You have to hack Mega to help you. But since Gaga's just kind of like way behind out of this fight, like they can't. Okay, let's look at Fleta. Okay, so Fleta's actually blinking back to mark Gaga. It is reasonable. It's reasonable. Like I would prefer just Shanghai look to trade here just because they have an advantage. But but like they do have an Ash, and obviously Fleta wants to protect the Ash. Like a lot of this comp just boils down to like giving like making space for your Ash and Zen. So right here, like Lip dies, and like Shanghai by just kind of trapping themselves over on the other side, Chengdu actually have a big opportunity here. They could just push like up to here. Support Leave, give Leave like the harmony, the packs really easily. Help Leave clear anyone over here. Help Gaga like take and engage over here. And then just walk on the point. But like they're kind of looking they're gonna stay just like behind. And like Monk is try to push up to here, so there's better LS on the back line. But like this space is so free. Why don't they take it? Lip is dead. You're like 5v4. Take it. Just take the space and win the fight. And like given that Shanghai are positioned over there, like on this side more, like I mean you're closer to them, which means you might be able to kill them a bit better, but on the other hand, like you get pooped out. And so now you're literally just stuck on the point like this. And and like the LOS is so tough. That Leave gets discorded and just gets harassed. And Leave dies. Like you see, that's what happens when you play this side and not this side. So it's now 4v4, it's not the end of the world. And I'm still not sure, like, maybe Chengdu can still win this. Fate is low HP and hacked. Like, they have Fleta, but on the other hand, like, Chengdu have Jinmu. Well, Jinmu, I think, got Translocator forced out. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. Shanghai, they just look to push. Bit of hesitation on Izuyaki, but you see, they push, they just run over. Because, there's nothing stopping Izuyaki from just doing this. Or leaving on. And Gaga is just forced to peel, if possible. So, hopeless fight. Now, uh, Shanghai, this is like a Shanghai special. But now, like, they're actually taking a forward defense. And, like, this is insanely powerful of a position. This is insanely powerful. Like, any rotation here, they're positioning more to this side just because if Chengdu decides to rotate over here, then then you have some distance for Lip and Izuyaki, like some good sight lines. So they would rather uh, prevent prevent Chengdu from just pushing this way, or like eventually walking up to this high ground. So the Sap's gonna lean towards this side, but like this is like the same theme. One side is more important to control than the other, and Shanghai are doing this well. Like I mean, I could be overanalyzing this probably, but like we do see Fate positioned more around here than over here because like he's not really concerned about what the fuck happens here. Like they could rotate this way, but remember this way leads to this worse side, and Shanghai could just back up to the better side of the point. So I mean, this is really interesting. Fate like thinks that they're way overextended. Looks like they're looking for a pulse play with like mines. If Fate really wants to succeed with this, the mines should be like next to their spawn. But I can't believe I'm saying this. But like Shanghai are literally trying to spawn camp here. So like it fails, but okay, leave dies. And like right here, Chengdu are kind of looking to just do a bit of a split push. Now, when you're trying to like do the strategy to punish like forward positioning, it's really important you take it slow until your backline is actually pushed up. Like, like if I think leave, I'm not sure what's happening because I don't have the replay viewer, but like, I think Jinmu, leave, and Gaga like they just fought too aggressively. If they have to like position like even farther back so that it's harder for Shanghai to just rotate back and get the kills, then do it. It's like stretch Shanghai, like disrupt their organization. But like so easy to kill. It's so easy to kill them. Like the reason you even do the split push is to make space for your backline. It's not to fight. It's to make space for your backline. You should not be looking to fight. You should just be looking to kind of stretch Shanghai out. But like even in this situation, Leave might come back really soon. But because they had to roll back and shit, and like first like they use their cooldowns. Like even though I think okay, let me see how long. So they get leave, they pretty much win this fight for free. So now like Chengdu's like setup is just really disorganized as well. Like Shanghai's a bit disorganized. Shanghai did have to drop their backline. On the other hand, like look at this like formation. It's so easy to just ride onto the flank, get behind, bam. And Shanghai started with a better organization, so Fleta like gets to just use the side space, like the side space. Rather, like Chengdu are just forced to like hurriedly just rush back main, while Fate and Fleta just kept their flank positions at all times. And we see like another theme here in Overwatch 2: organization, organization. Like if your team's like disciplined, like positioned in an like in actual organized way that controls all the key spaces, you just win. Like you used to win. Like they might have ults and they might be able to break it with ults, but I think the most important thing to master in Overwatch 2 is just knowing how to position in relation to the team, the point, the enemy, and your ults. And like we see this positioning done well by Shanghai. They had the ults at the start. So they're gonna position forward and they're gonna try to take an early fight. But on the other hand, they're making sure they adequately control the space. Like control over here. So that Chengdu are forced to either walk this way and take poke damage, or walk this way into like the grasp of Shanghai. Like you see right here, because of this zoning, Chengdu, they have defensive ult. They have rally as well. But they're forced to all like position over here. Like imagine if Lip was on high ground right now. Maybe he is on high ground right now. Shoot, 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 shoot. There's nothing Chengdu can do. Okay, so that's a huge pick actually. So the EMP, they try to punish Fate. Let's where's Lip? Where's Lip in this fight? Like they get a 4v4 trade. Okay, this is over ambitious from Fleta. Okay, you could actually get punished here. But you see, like overall this, because Shanghai are playing more towards this side, Chengdu, they have trouble pushing into the Mega. Lip is able to occupy the Mega for free. It's probably a bit more clear on the overhead map, but Lip still has long sightlines. If Chengdu are able to take this, Lip would have to play like over here, or like just even behind, and or on point, and that means Lip is just functionally useless. But because Lip is gets to keep this position thanks to Shanghai's positioning along this side, like Lip is so effective. And even like they are trying to like kill Lip here. But I think with the packs from Li Zhang gone, this would be like a huge commitment for Shang like for Chengdu. And like Lip even gets to hold this position. And Gong is forced to like play here. And like overall this, like Li Zhang gone, Lip, Fleta, like they get to control over here. And like why are they able to control this mega area? Because of how they started this fight. Literally like 30 seconds ago. So we see how early decisions as on how do you defend affect the entire fight. Like this is a theme that cannot be overstated. I mean, cannot be understated. I mean, if I keep talking about this, I'm probably overstating it. But like, still, the point is like, if you're like trying to coach a team in Overwatch 2, you can't do like much more wrong than like just training the team to position properly before and like early into the fight. And because of this really shit positioning, it's just so easy for Shanghai to control the flanks, so easy for Fate to play like around the point. They just get boops, they're just stuck in this corner with no kiting. And bam. They're trading, but like look at how little support comparatively this engage gets from the backline. It's like Lee Jong-un and Izuyaki are just playing against nothing, no backline. Okay, so second round. Like I'm actually a review. This has been kind of a banger, I'm not gonna lie. Let's review the second round. And it actually looks like Shanghai lost this. So Chengdu are running a a poke like a poke comp, basically, with the Mercy Zen. And the reason this is so like effective on this map is just because it's really easy. It's like not only the long sight lines, but also it's really easy to just position around here and live forever. It's really hard for Shanghai to actually threaten this space. And if they decide to like try to just push point, like they could get an early point with their break, but they're just gonna get poked out. It's really hard to just close the distance and control the spaces that Ash and Echo can use, as well as like Mercy like pocketed Zen or Mercy pocketed Echo. Or like Mercy has so much pocket targets here. So, but like if China want to win this, they kind of need to send five to fight for the space. If they're like stuck like over here, like they cannot walk into point at all. So Fleta and Lip should actually just fight this instead of like Fleta just playing long sight lines. And see, without the fighting power, where's Lip as well? Without fighting power, like this is just a very disorganized setup. Like where's Lip? Lip can't. Lip has no impact in this like fight. Okay, and like if they wanted, Chengdu could just press W because they have so much control. Um, so so let's talk about first fight a bit more. Now, if Chengdu were running more of a rush comp, so they're running some shit like Junker Queen or Winston or whatever the fuck, the kids run these days, then like Shanghai should probably position around here. This is because like they could just walk point, but Shanghai would just outpoke them, so they could just give up point for a bit and like eventually still win the fight. But like if they allow the rush team to just rush through here, there's the standard path, and then up onto this high ground, then they're dead, obviously. So they want to position in a way that stops this rotation, forces them to take the long way. But like since this is like dive, the more important space is here. And in dive on this map, it's all about controlling here and here. So teams are gonna lean more towards here. And like which side you fight on, like as we saw, like on first point, we established that fighting on overall, just the mega side of the map is better. But like here it's a bit more comp dependent and matchup dependent. So Shanghai just kind of dropped the spaghetti on this. So let's look at the second fight. Fleta is being chased. Fleta dies. Shanghai should not be fighting this. Reset. Shanghai needs a reset here. Yeah, they really need to reset. Okay. So now, like Shanghai have their work cut out for them. Okay, Lip staggers him like himself. So that's already 30% progress. Probably 50. And Shanghai, they don't want to like take the tracer against Chengdu. So like they just mirror the Ash. I still favor Chengdu's comp just because of the Mercy. Mercy Zen is probably slightly better than Brig Zen, just because your Zen like is so safe like on this high ground. And if Zen has to drop to like kind of get better LOS on point, then it's a bit vulnerable. But like as long as you control like these spaces very well, which Mercy Echo or Mercy Ash is just so good at doing, then your Zen is also really safe. More teams should actually consider playing Mercy Zen more, because Brig Zen is good and all, but Mercy Zen, if you're able to play it properly, you're able to like have your ball and your tracer probably like control these spaces very well. Then Mercy Zen is just so devastating, so much burst damage, and burst damage just plays really well into ball like dive comps. So right here, mm, so let's go with like the defensive setup. So we're gonna have Ash positioned along this high ground. Echo's actually the one playing over here, like playing this angle. Uh, this is the standard setup. just because like Echo really benefits from the like these roofs and stuff, and like can bounce around this high ground and this roof. While this is a bit more open somewhere, like Echo probably wouldn't want to play and has less cover. While like the Ash would have like longer sight lines from like over here than like over here or even over there. Not longer sight lines. Just like just in general. I mean, like Ash could position over here as well, but like the benefit of like positioning over here is that you get to disrupt the initial rotation. If like from here, eventually, like once point unlocks, you might consider pivoting to here, but like this just gives you like really like nice long sight lines to punish a team that walks through here. Um. Okay. So both teams are fighting on the point. This is probably kind of a mistake from Chengdu. What I'm seeing here, so Chengdu like leave actually gets on the point. I think that's kind of necessary. Someone should probably be contesting Flutta. You have the Mercy pocket. You can easily just contest Flutta. How does Flutta like get? How did nobody scout out Flutta here? Well, Flutta was there. Like someone like I don't know how Flutta got here for free. Gets the Mercy. Now Shanghai they have the Brig. They just all like shove themselves on the point. Like Li Zhengan pushes up. Mm, not sure why Fleta's even taking this. Fleta should just go on to point as well. Now the problem with it, like if you're just going like all running it down on the point, is that once you do take point, which you will, like just 5v4 with a break, like it's hard to like kind of take the space back. That being said, it's a 5v4. Like you could probably do it. So and right here, like they're at least like walking on the point. Fate kills Leave just because of like the dumb decision to just drop on the point like this. Jinmu has an angle, but good targeting from Lip, good priority, and this is just easy cleanup. They try like kill Li Zhengan, but so right here they Shanghai have ults. It's gonna be hard to use these ults to be honest, just because if they rotate high ground, this is pretty safe. Mm, like with these ults, like Shanghai's plan is probably just to use them on point. Like Chengdu could look to like kind of bait these ults a bit. The Fate tries like use these mines just to like deny that space, which is fine, I guess. They're using defensive ults. They get Gaga. Like this is just alt diff. Like these mines from Fate were pretty good just because like if you deny this space, you're not taking point. Because if you decide to like just go lower, then Lip just pounces on you from this high ground. Or over here. But it's just like, Shang have more ults. And they really only use like two ults, so they could just cycle them. That being said, though, they're overextending. And yeah, like I know that they have the brig, and the brig's in position to fight this. At least Li Zhengong like makes the right play, given that how Shanghai were playing this. But like overall, this plan to go up like this, like the timing's a bit off. Timing is like really off actually. Fate should just hold over here, maybe get a pack, and you just wait for the backline to push up before you pincer here. But like they can just retreat from this, so like they shouldn't overextend. And when like Izayaki dies with trance, like honestly, like if they want to sustain this, I'm not sure where Izayaki was in this fight, but like Izayaki's not really in position to like just trans fade in. But yeah, and more importantly, like I mean, Fleta like is actually has a good position. There's really no good like copy target, but like if Chengdu had a brig, then they could Fleta could copy brig, but like they're just overextended. They just overchased us, and the timing was a bit off, but still that was like way over ambitious. Now, if Chengdu were a bit slower to back off, and let's say like instead they weren't here, but they were somewhere in the middle, then this would be fine because it's an easy pincer, and you're just sandwiching them. But Chengdu could just kind of kite back instead of even having to fight this. Okay, so now the fight's a bit more in chaos. Jinmu takes serious pressure. They're trying to fight Jinmu. They're trying to like deny this positioning, which is fine. Oh shit. Mm, no, this isn't a pile drive. This is you just roll and you shoot and leave. Like even if you land a pile drive, where's the follow up from? And in any case, like if you get like coach gun off this high ground like this, it just allows Chengdu to then push up and use these sight lines where like Mercy could just help leave. Okay, without the replay viewer, it's really hard to see like why exactly like someone won or someone lost here. I can say that the decision to contest Jinmu was good. The decision of Fate to like pile drive instead of just rolling up to that high ground was a bit sus. So so as you can see, but like that decision is actually really big because since Fate was kind of like dropped onto Jinmu with no cooldowns, like Fate was forced to like kind of get a health pack. Gets discorded, not get a health pack, but like clear the discord, and this means that Monk can just push up, and now both teams are relatively equal. They still do get Nisha, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce, but like their mines, they get mines on point first. They get the trance. They have an ult advantage compared to Shanghai. So all things being equal, Chengdu like started the fight with a disadvantage because Shanghai were just on the defensive, but they equalized. And then Chengdu had one more ult than Shanghai. Not to mention Mercy is a superior pick, even though Mercy died. So like they Shanghai had to commit a lot to because they were scared of just the Mercy pocket at Echo. So all things being equal, and Fate doesn't pop the mines, it's a W for Chengdu. Hey, let's actually review like the last round. Okay, so we have both teams running mirror matchups. Both teams are gonna play around here. Like this side is more valuable than this side because this side gives you nice long open sight lines and great control of point. Not to mention you have like the vertical heroes who want to be using this. Not like you have Echo, you have Ball to an extent. If this was like let's say a Brawl Mirror, like who nobody would give a shit about this space. Like in Overwatch 2 and Overwatch 1, probably Diva would be trying to fight sometimes because usually if it's Brawl v Brawl, both teams just roll out this way. But we see both teams are trying to fight for this. Looks like Chengdu do get the upper hand here, just because they actually have Nisha and they're like positioned positioned to help this. I think this is smart from Nisha. This is a smart break play. Like even though Nisha is split from the Zen isn't really under like that much danger as long as you control this space. If you don't control this space, then obviously they can just poke you from here. But and you still have LOS on Zen, but like this flank is just so hard to use to kill Zen, so you can't just punish even that. So like with this flank, not to mention both teams are gonna fight for this anyways, instead of like looking to kill backlines anytime soon. So like this actually like brilliant break positioning. That being said, Li Jinggan kills Gaga. Like Li Jinggan. How does Gaga get booped? Huh? I think he just got booped into the pit. Wait, what? How does Gaga like just drop off? No. Shanghai, we're gonna lose this. No. Like Gaga, just shoot Fate. Fate has no armor. Just you don't. Look, Gaga doesn't have to complete this role and try to like get some funny boop. All Gaga has to do is shoot Fate. Oh no. Oh. Okay, now Shanghai are just free to push. No. Like this is like a huge pick because like they just had to whip and boom, full HP. God is dead. They didn't have to use any cooldowns. So like now the proper response for Shanghai is just press W, and they kite back. You just have point control. You don't overchase. You just kill Jinmu and bam. Shanghai are Shanghai are not overchasing this. Now Shanghai like they now have like control of the point. I think that wherever they're positioned, I think Izayaki and Li Zhenggan should not be here. I think they should be there, like on the other side, because like this is a bit too dangerous. Like they can easily just push into this close side and bam. But more importantly, you don't have sightlines here. Chengdu could also just push like on the other side and take control if you're not careful enough. But they should be starting here because like these give you the big like the best sightlines. Like Li Zhenggan dies because of it. Shanghai's backline rotations have not been as clean as they were in season 4. That being said, Chengdu just kind of pushed like Cage. Shanghai are a bit over aggressive here. Actually, they might not be because Lip has a good flank and Fleta's in an amazing position. So like I think they could just fight here, despite not having Brig. I mean, like it is succeeding. Like that's why I was like norm like this doesn't look that good just because it didn't look like Shanghai like fighting in the cage is kind of tough unless someone's like really low, but still. Okay, Fate does trade his life for it. So there is like a two-edged two two-edged sword, but I mean Lip gets a pulse bomb kill. I mean, once you give up like that other side of the map, the side, then you're just opening yourself to so many plays. So okay, next fight. And so Chengdu are pushing cage again. Do Shanghai really have to fight? I don't think Shanghai has to fight. Like Chengdu's rotation was onto into the cage was just kind of bad. But like I don't really care about the space. If you have Echo, you want to unlock the space so that your Echo can actually use the space to control here and the point. But you don't push here. Your Echo is kind of useless. Like here. So Fate's gonna go for Legion Gon dies to a pulse. Lip is marking leave. Okay, and but leave still hits the pulse on Legion Gon because he had to contest. But like think about it another way. Leave traded pulse plus probably blink recall to get this kill. So Shanghai, instead of like playing this slow and trying to stall, they actually look to engage and try to like take advantage of that before like Chengdu just win this fight. So that's why Fate's like trying to get something done there. That being said, the play like even though it does zone them off of this crucial space, it doesn't really get any kills. But 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 like this is still a positive for Shanghai. Why? Because you zoned them off of the space. I know I said it, but you zoned them off of here. So now where does Chengdu go? Over here. And from here, it's just really hard to have your Zen or your Echo have any impact. While you still have like a bit of control over this side of the map. So you see, they're trying to like get a kill on Izuyaki. They get the kill on Izuyaki. So Shanghai might still lose this in the end, but it's not that like it's slow. More importantly, like from this position, from such a bad backline position, it's so slow. It's so like Chengdu are just so slow to end this. Like if they had this position to end this, they just like push onto Izuyaki and like they have such good sightlines to shoot anyone off point, but it looks like Shanghai are just stalling forever. And the reason, like you see, Lip is just bouncing around. Fate takes no damage. There's no echo or anything. Like they're just all clumped up like this. Fate barely takes any damage. Lip barely takes any damage. And because of this like bad backline positioning, Shanghai eventually come back and they end the fight. And they could just and they just pop the ults that they had to end the fight. Not even overanalyze this fight because this was the key thing. Chengdu are not only too eager to push here, but these mines are actually brilliant. They force Chengdu to go to here. And if you have backlines like opposing from like here and here, like the backline that gets the position here is just gonna win. Even though you have more cover here, Shanghai are just you see Fleta's mobility. You see the positions that Fleta can take. You see how freely Fleta can play. It's because his backline has LOS. While like Jinmu always looks like he's kind of stuck, like just kind of running it down main, because Brig Zen, like his Brig Zen, are stuck in the cage. They're stuck in the jail. While Shanghai, they have Brig Zen over here. Fleta gets Harmony. Fleta gets all the resources. It's a GG's. So yeah, hope that was helpful.